Oh, I'm driving through potholes in Minneapolis. Dang. Worse than 4-wheel drive. So I just did my sixth run, was shipped. I don't know how much I can film of the packages because I don't want to give away the addresses. But if you look at the package, look at the label, and then look for another label. And you're going to notice it has a number on it. So let's say you had 30 stops, right? Each box is labeled already with a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. And the one thing I know with delivery, and it doesn't matter who you deliver for, is the more orderly you have it in your van, I'm using a van as you can see, your car, whatever it is, the easier it's going to be. So if you have 5 boxes, let's say, and you line them up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's your 5 stops that you have, right? It's going to be faster and organized, and the goal behind that is when you get to the stop, you want to be able to scan, drop. Not, oh my gosh, I gotta look in the back of my truck or wherever for the box for 4 more minutes. That stopping and having to look for a box actually makes you anxious. You'd be surprised. So when you're organized, you're looking at your boxes, you're like, here's number 1, here's number 2, here's number 3, here's number 4, here's number 5. Depends on who you are. You can change the route to suit you when you're driving, but the way the route is set up, it's going to be by order of deliveries, not necessarily all on the same street. You may have to go back and forth depending on where you're at. So I find for myself as a delivery driver, when it's not organized, I get anxious. And when I get anxious, as we talk about many times, anxious leads to what? Anxiety, right? Well, you got to think about anxiety when you're delivering because you're also driving. And if your mind is anxious and you're distracted, it can screw you up. Another thing I would tell you is when you're at the sortation center, which is where you're picking up your packages, talk to other drivers. I'm a pretty chatty guy to a stranger. I have no problems talking to a stranger, probably usually about very intimate details. It's easier to talk to a stranger than to a friend or to a family member. But when I do that, I learn something each and every time. I look at what are other drivers doing when they're loading their vehicles. Are they loading them fast? Are they loading them slow? What tricks work? I think wherever you're at, whatever job you're doing, wherever you're at in life, if someone's receptive to advice you have to give to make their job easier, give it to them. Some people aren't receptive. Remember that. Some people want to figure it out on their own. I'm hard-headed like that all the time. Fixing potholes. That's why the car's so shaky. But just to keep that in mind, when you can help and when somebody wants the help, help them. Like I said, this is my 6th run today, 7th run today. I tried a different start time today. You're going to notice when you're working for Shipt. In the delivery realm, and you have to go contact shipt.com, I think, and ask to be a delivery driver. It's different than a shopper. The app is different also. And you can use your car, you can use your van. I see people rent fluid trucks. They have big vehicles. I've seen pickups. It really doesn't matter what you use, but it's quite easy once you get going. You're going to be anxious at first. Here's one thing I wanted to add in before I go. My biggest hang-up, and I have to let this go as a driver, and this is actually for every delivery job I have, I worry too much about the customer getting the box or the package, right? Your job as a driver is to get it from the sortation center to the address. That's actually it. And that applies through FedEx, UPS, whatever it is. That is the deal. But we all know about porch pirates, and you don't want somebody to lose their stuff, just like you don't want to lose your stuff. So the longer you take at each delivery, the longer it's going to take you to deliver. So you just have to be practical about trying to get the package to the customer. Just do the best you can, and that's all you can do. Each route's going to get easier and easier and easier. I mean, easier and easier because you've done it more than once. Everything you do in life for the first or second time has to have a margin of error. It can't be perfect every time. So just remember that. Remember that I love you. Remember that your voice matters. And remember, when we work together, everything's easier. I gotta go. I'm hoping to find some free food. Love you. Bye.